Hello, my name is Sean. I am normally doing true crime and decided I needed to do some social commentary because it's needed in America at this moment. Let me get this straight. With everything that's going on in America, I really don't think that people fully grasp the difference between left and right. Um, or Democrat versus Republican. There has been so much BS from both sides that it's just ridiculous. Uh, Last week, a registered Republican who was registered and is a member of a far right gun organization took an AR-15 to a Trump rally in Pennsylvania where he was up on a shed for around 20 minutes before he pulled the trigger and took a shot at former President Donald Trump. Thank God he missed. Um, uh, I might not like Trump, but nobody deserves to die like that. I mean, the last president to get shot was in the early 80s, and that was Ronald Reagan getting shot by Hinckley, who was trying to impress Jodie Foster. Uh, Prior to that, we have JFK, who there's so many theories out there on why he was shot. Some people have said was Johnson trying to get his job to become president. Others said that the right had something to do with it, trying to kill him off. Uh, there was other suggestions out there that is a possible mob hit. Uh, but JFK was the last person to die from an assassination. But the thing is I had to ask myself a while ago, what does it mean to be a Democrat, or what does it mean to be a Republican? I never knew. It's not like they really teach us that in school. Maybe they do now, but back when I was a kid, they didn't. Uh, Democrats were for the poor, Republicans were for the rich. That's what I remember being taught in school. Uh, I knew a lot of farmers, they were Democrats. Now they're Republicans. Why there is that shift, I don't know. But there's different policies that each side fall on, whether it's economic, social, and human interest, stances on military, stances on gay marriage, abortion, death penalty, taxes, or government regulations, healthcare policies, stances on immigration. They all have different stances. The big problem, and this is a big problem sometimes on both sides, is when one side will tell massive lies about the other side just to try to get more people following it. And people believe that bullshit. And that's what's stupid is instead of actually looking up and finding the information themselves, they take this information that is false and run with it, trying to, spread the gospel a little bit more. So then we have everything run rampant. Nobody trusts anyone. The right doesn't trust the FBI or CIA or the president, while the left doesn't trust Congress or doesn't trust the Supreme Court, things like that. I mean, nobody trusts anybody anymore. And it's a load of shit. Maybe people need to actually understand and follow with what each side is talking about. So I don't know how long this is going to be. I'd rather not make it too long, so I might end up breaking it down into a couple videos. But I was going to try to explain both sides, and I just shook my camera, sorry about that, both sides of the argument. And I'll probably throw in my 2 cents because I actually find that I lie a lot closer to center than people would expect. Because there's certain things on both sides that I can agree with. So, that being said, why don't I get started a little bit? So let's start off. Democrat. They're liberal, they're left-leaning. What is liberal, you might ask? Liberal is a person that is willing to respect or accept behaviors or opinions different than their own. They're open to new ideas. That sounds pretty nice. While the Republicans are conservative and they're right-leaning. A conservative is adverse to change or holding traditional values. Now, there is nothing wrong with holding traditional values, but it's okay to have some change too. And I don't know, I guess it's okay to accept other people's lifestyle that's different than your own. America was founded on freedoms, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, all these different freedoms. So, freedom of expression. So if you have a different lifestyle than other people, you should accept that, people should accept it because that's what our country was founded on. So, with economic ideas, that is such a very messed up area. The left believes on income equality. They want higher tax rates on the wealthy while lower tax rates on the lower income. They want stronger regulations on business. The right, they want lower taxes, which I could get behind lower taxes, and less regulation on businesses. Now, I think the lower taxes are, sometimes for the rich. I know a big proponent for this is Warren Buffett. He went from being just a middle class person, his family was that way when he's young, to being at one point the richest man in the world. And now he's still in the top 10 or 20, somewhere around there. But he has been quoted multiple times. I've got the money. I should be taxed for my money. I should be taxed just like the little guy. Maybe more so because I have more money than they do. And, him being one of the richest people in the world, that has a lot of merit. Um, which he's got a lot of I've got a lot of respect for him. So I want to do a big one right now, and that's the stance on gay marriage. Now, Democrats support gay marriage with a little asterisk. Some Democrats still disagree with it. They find that it's wrong and should not be allowed. Republicans are opposed to it with an asterisk that some Republicans disagree with this and think that gay marriage should be allowed. This is one of those debates that I'm sure is going to go on for years. I personally have never cared. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. I've known gay people most of my life. Never once has any of them tried to touch me, which the people that oppose gay marriage, both right and left, will say that, a gay person, they don't care. They're just going to take advantage of children or other people and everything. And I've never had that problem, no matter at what age I was around these gay people. They just want to be loved and love and all that stuff. Excuse me. So I've never really found a problem with this. And I mean, I do have friends that are completely against homosexuality, and I've asked them, why? Well, it's not right. Why is it not right? I don't know. Men are supposed to be with women, and women are supposed to be with men. Why? Who says? I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. It's gross. Because whether or not you want to believe it, the Bible does not specifically say that they are not to be married or that homosexuality is wrong. And in actuality, back in that time that the Bible was being written, it was sometimes commonplace for them to have same-sex lovers. Sometimes a lot younger than they should be, which, yeah. Which this goes right into, transgender and LGBTQ community and everything like that. And like I said, I have friends that are completely against it. And I guess my whole opinion, one, I don't understand some of it, so it doesn't affect me. If it doesn't affect you, why do you care so much? I tried to argue with a friend of mine recently where he's like, oh yeah, well, some of these people, like if a boy wants to be a girl, they'll let him have sex change when he's 5 years old. No, they won't. And I don't think there is any doctor in the United States, well, okay, in the world, well, there might be, that would do a sex change on a 5-year-old. What the hell? I mean, why would you think that? Why would your brain go straight to that idea? So no, that, no. But that's going to be something that's going to be argued left and right all the time. The other one that's a hard one is the stance on abortion. Democrats believe that it should remain legal. They support the Roe v. Wade, while Republicans said that it should not be legal, except for some exceptions. They do throw in some exceptions, and they're opposed to Roe v. Wade. This is one of those very, very sticky situations, and I'll probably do this one and then I'll continue with more in another video because this might take a while. Roe v. Wade happened in what, 1973 or 1972? It's as old as I am. And people have been trying to overturn it ever since. The left want to say, it's the woman's right to have the abortion. The right is saying, no, it isn't, because that is a baby inside of her and that she is killing a baby. She's killing a life. While me as a man, I look at the situation and think, if I was a woman, would I ever have an abortion? Probably not. But as a woman, I wouldn't want anyone telling me what I can or cannot do with my body. It's my body. As a man, if they said after the age of 40, all men must get castrated because they shouldn't have babies after that time, I would pretty much tell them to go fuck themselves, because that's not happening. If they said that the only time men can ejaculate is during copulation to make a child, because that's killing all those sperm that are potential babies, they can go to hell too. You can't control a person for what they do to the body. Otherwise, I would sit there and say, let's make it illegal for people to have face tattoos, because I think they're dumb. And I say that with having a really close friend of mine that has a tattoo on his face, and I always say that he looks like an idiot. But he's been a close buddy of mine for years. Now, Roe v. Wade says that... Wait, before I do that, there are people on the right that claim that the Democrats want to kill babies. They want to be able to have abortions up to and including after birth. And I've heard this in a debate recently. I've heard some blonde gal spouting that out on Congress floor. I'm not naming names on anyone, so. And that's utter stupidity. One, after birth, that's called murder. Well, it's called infanticide. But that's illegal. Two, there is no evidence that anyone wants to have an abortion at 9 months or 8 months. Roe v. Wade states that a mother can abort her pregnancy for any reason up to the point at which a fetus becomes viable. The court defined viability as being potentially able to live outside of the mother's womb, albeit with artificial aid. At that time in 1993, I think it's 3, they figured that was around the 7-month mark at 28 weeks. But it could be even earlier, like 24 weeks, which it has been in recent years. Now at 24 weeks, baby has a really good chance of survival if they're born. But before that, I think the earliest, let's see if I have it here. The youngest that was ever born prematurely and lived was at 21 weeks and 1 day. But normally it's at 24 weeks. That's going to have good brain function, matured enough lungs, everything like that can actually make them live. Then people start spouting the Bible, saying that mothers are killing the baby per the Bible. Well, the Bible says that it is not considered a baby nor alive till it takes its first breath. That's when God breathes oxygen into the baby and makes it alive. Prior to that, the fetus is nothing but a growth per the Bible. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are pissed off and yelling and screaming at me right now, and I'm sorry. I didn't write the Bible. And I know that abortion is a huge thing. And my wife, in her first marriage, had to have a D&C because the fetus was dead inside of her. In some states, that's illegal to remove it. Even if it's a dead fetus, it's illegal to move. If she did not get it removed, it could have done serious problems, possibly killed her. And this was only like 10 weeks into it or something like that. So yeah, I mean, the right wants some exceptions, but I honestly just don't know. I've seen people on the right saying, well, adopt children, adopt children. Do you realize how many children are in the foster care system right now? Because people don't want them. And, I have a friend of mine that he argues against abortion because he doesn't believe in a God. So he thinks that this is the only life we live. So why kill the fetus and deny it its life? I can understand that. And it's a tricky thing. It'll probably never have the right answer. But I still think that it needs to be. It's a woman's choice. And I'm sorry for everyone that's yelling and pissed off at me right now. Next time I will talk about the healthcare, immigration, education, and then the other heated part, gun rights. So, and the environment. So hopefully I'll see you back. Bye. Oh, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I am going to be doing true crime again soon. I just am taking a break to try to clear my mind because I have some of the horrific scenes in my head from things, and I can't clear it out. It's stuck there. So if you have any suggestions for things for social commentary or anything, please tell me. These are unscripted. This is just me rambling. So be good to yourself. Be good to others. I love you all. And hopefully I'll see you more often. Bye.